Senator Roberts.
Thank you. One Nation agrees with the sentiment in many of the amendments, yet now is not the time for discussing these, and I will explain and then check with the Minister. Minister, I have two questions after first confirming my understanding. Firstly, as I said in my reply to the Minister's statement earlier today, we have been concerned about the complexity of legislation already in place and the added complexity now of this legislation and the speed with which these changes are being made. Yet the legislation allows ministers to make changes as regulations. Like the opposition, we understand the short-term need in the circumstances to give this government the power and will be holding them accountable throughout the period of managing the virus and after the virus passes. We will continue to listen to our constituents and will continue to advocate for them to put ideas to the government to protect workers and any groups that fall through the cracks. Our understanding is that unions have publicly acknowledged that the government has worked well with them on making changes to the legislation. The opposition too has publicly and in this Senate acknowledged the government has worked well with it. Our party has passed constituent concerns and ideas to the government, and the government has implemented them. Secondly, the government and opposition have stated that they will oppose all other amendments. Any amendments to this legislation, regardless, would need to go back to the House of Reps and delay this package getting out to the people who need it. Thirdly, given the complexity of the amendments and the lack of costing, some of these amendments have no time for us to check the legislation. We would be neglectful to support these amendments with such little notice. All parties, as I understand it, have had ample opportunity to suggest changes to the government. Minister, can you confirm the minister's ability to make regulations to close the cracks in legislation to ensure fairness for any people in need that have been missed in this legislation, and regulations to protect taxpayers from abuse of the new provisions?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Chair, and I thank Senator Roberts for those comments, for those remarks and those questions. The Treasurer does have wide-ranging discretion, temporary, as the discretion for Senator Ruston in the legislation we passed a few weeks ago is also temporary, to respond to unforeseen circumstances. And also, I mean, of course, we will continue to monitor the situation as it evolves, and we do want to ensure that those Australians who need support can get appropriate levels of support. And even as issues emerge that require our attention, we will have the flexibility under that rule-making power to respond to any such circumstances. And in terms of scrutiny, there will be the opportunity, of course, for the Senate Select Committee to scrutinise the government's response. And it's a very wide-ranging, with some very wide-ranging terms of reference, both the government's response on the health front as well as on the economic front. And I know that Senator Roberts has nominated to be a participating senator on that committee, and I would encourage him to pursue all of the issues of concern to him and to One Nation through that process.
Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Madam Deputy. Minister, just following on from that, can you please confirm that because of the answer that ministers can make changes through regulations, there is no upper spending limit on this bill? If the estimates are in error, then $130 billion could become $150 billion. What is the top end? And that's my last.
Minister.
Thank you. I mean, so Senator Roberts is right that the $130 billion is an estimate. It's an estimate in a demand-driven program, though some of the commentary that I've seen from observers, and I believe that I've read some comments from Chris Richardson, the view among commentators appears to be that we have erred on the side of conservatism rather than on the side of underestimating. But the truth is, it is a demand-driven program. These are estimates, and changes in parameters, in economic parameters, or changes in terms of decisions could vary, could have an impact on the estimate moving forward.